This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. Hey, good morning to you. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. We appreciate you starting your day with us.
A lot going on now at 6:30. We are following breaking news out of Italy this morning. Dozens of people are dead after a major earthquake near Rome. We'll bring you the very latest.
What police say caused a driver to crash into Scott County Creek overnight.
And a sneak peek of James Corden's next guest on Carpool Karaoke. That and a whole lot more coming up for you this morning. But we have a steamy start to today. You'll notice a change immediately.
Like we've said, we got spoiled over the last 2 days.
We
and we're going to pay for it today.
Yeah, we get to keep the sunshine. That's the good thing. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, the sunny skies will be out there early this morning. We have some upper level cirrus clouds. I'm telling you this is sunrise alert for you guys, photographers, or amateur photographers that you have a cell phone. You can just step out your door and snap a picture. Do that, man. Send it to me. Hop on Twitter real quick. Follow me, Micah Harris WX, and send it to me. I'd love to show it off for you. We go throughout the day. We're there in the 60s this morning. And we'll finish off in the 80s later on this afternoon. Now, let me tell you this. It is getting warmer. The humidity's rising. But the rain chances will be with us every single day. But they're not great chances. I'm going to show you that in your 7-day forecast. What about your weekend? How does that look? That's coming up.
Thank you, Micah. Now straight to the news. We continue with our breaking news coverage out of Italy this morning.
Details sad as they come in. Rescue efforts are underway in central portions of the country after a 6.2 magnitude earthquake overnight. It has destroyed dozens of buildings and it sent people running from their homes. Some of them, in fact, have been killed in their homes.
Absolutely heartbreaking. At least 37 people are reported dead and the death toll is expected to rise. Tina Kraus has the very latest.
Rescue teams pulled quake victims from the rubble as daybreak began to show the devastation in Amatrice. Frantic residents and emergency workers used buckets, bulldozers, even their hands to dig through the debris. This rescue worker says we need chainsaws, shears to cut iron bars, and jacks to remove beams. We need everything. The U.S. Geological Survey says the magnitude 6.2 earthquake struck at 3:30 in the morning while most Italians were asleep. Several aftershocks followed. This woman says the whole ceiling fell. I just managed to put a pillow on my head so I wasn't hit. The hardest hit towns and villages are in the mountains of central Italy, about 100 miles northeast of Rome. The mayor of one hard hit town said a family of 4 was trapped under a collapsed building with no signs of life, while the mayor of Amatrice said, quote, "The town isn't here anymore." He made a plea for more help to clear the streets and rescue the injured. The office of Italy's prime minister tweeted out, "Heavy equipment is on the way." This family dog was pulled from a small space carved in one collapsed home. Rescuers are still digging, hoping to find survivors. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
In 2009, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck in that very same region, and that time it killed more than 300 people. We'll keep you updated this morning, and CBS This Morning with the latest at the top of the hour. Well, new this morning on WKYT, a driver has been rushed to the hospital after flipping his truck into a Scott County creek.
We've been tracking this story all morning. It happened around midnight on Long Lick Pike, north of Georgetown, but police say the crash could have easily been avoided. WKYT's Caitlin Sittner is live at UK Hospital to explain. Good morning, Caitlin.
Good morning, Andrea. Now, deputies are warning drivers this morning to stay away from these things while they're in their car, their cell phones and other distractions after a man crashed in Scott County. Now, it was just after midnight that crews were called to Long Lick Pike, where a man had veered off the road and crashed his truck. Deputies say his truck flipped probably 2 to 3 times before landing in a creek bed. It's not clear right now whether or not the man was ejected from the truck, but deputies say he was outside of it when they arrived. People living close by actually heard the crash and rushed out to help the man. Crews worked to fish some of his personal items out of the creek. Now, deputies say this crash would have been a lot worse if other cars had been around at the time of the crash. The man, though, is expected to be okay. He's recovering here at UK Hospital. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Sittner, WKYT.
Also new this morning, a man in jail accused of viciously beating a man who owed him money. Hayden Rogers is charged with robbery according to his arrest citation. Police say he repeatedly hit the victim in the head with a pipe wrench outside a hotel near New Circle Road and Richmond Road. Police are still looking for a second suspect, Kevin Bentley. A mother and her 6-year-old daughter are feared dead after an early morning fire in Louisville. Their home in the Germantown neighborhood caught on fire just after midnight. The second floor of the home reportedly collapsed. The mother and child and one of their 2 dogs are accounted for.
State police say a man is behind bars this morning following a deadly shooting at a Rowan County home. Teddy Johnson has been charged with murder after investigators say he shot Marvin Adkins yesterday morning. Police say they were called to a home on Brown Ridge Road after Adkins got into an argument with some people there yesterday. Police say Adkins ran off. They couldn't find him for a time, but police say later in the morning Adkins returned to the home.
After about an hour and a half, they all had to leave. The trooper stayed in the area to observe for him to see if he'd come back to the roadway to find him. And sometime in the meantime, he made it back to the residence. And after there was another altercation, and that's when the subject was shot.
Troopers say Adkins left the home after being shot, but they say they found him dead in a field across the road.
A body found inside a large toolbox in a Grayson County creek has been identified as a man reported missing from Ohio County. Investigators say Tromaine Makel recently moved to Kentucky from Maryland before he was killed. The coroner says dental records from Makel's time in the Navy are what was used to identify him. Makel was reported missing on July 25th after leaving a party in Daviess County.
Another very disturbing trend in our region. Police say 30 people overdosed on heroin yesterday in Cincinnati. This after more than 24 people OD'd in Huntington, West Virginia within just a few hours. That was last week. Here's Michelle Chamberlain at our alert desk with more on that. And to answer the question, is there a link?
You know, it's just too early to say right now. That's because police aren't sure if the heroin used in these recent overdoses was laced with something stronger. Now, a photographer with WKRC in Cincinnati tweeted yesterday that he went to 8 overdoses in 4 locations in less than an hour. The station says 3 people OD'd in one house. Another overdose happened at a gas station. That man had a child with him in the car. Police are looking for a common link in the drug that is being circulated. You may remember earlier this month, 28 people overdosed in 4 hours in Huntington, West Virginia. And Kentucky is not immune. Last month in Boyle County, 5 people died from heroin overdoses in a couple of weeks. In Franklin County, Sheriff Pat Melton told us there were a dozen overdoses in just one day there. You may remember our story on carfentanil, a drug used to sedate elephants. Investigators believe it's being put in heroin that's suspected of causing recent overdoses in central Kentucky, and in Cincinnati. Guys, it's definitely a disturbing trend.
It absolutely is. Thank you. 5 Louisville police officers say they were denied service at a local Taco Bell. The police officers say it happened at the Taco Bell on Preston Highway during their lunch break. As they walked in, they say the man working the register told the other employees he wasn't taking their order and then walked away. The officers say another employee came to take their order, but they decided to leave after overhearing a conversation between the employees who were making the food.
One of those young men told the other employee, I want to mess with them. I want to mess with them. And then he followed that up by saying, I'm going to mess with them.
In a statement, both Taco Bell and the Louisville franchise owner said they have apologized to Louisville police and the 5 officers.
Kentucky and 4 other states have filed another lawsuit against the Obama administration over discrimination protections for transgender people. The lawsuit wants to block parts of a non-discrimination mandate of the health care law. Some lawmakers in Texas believe that the mandate could force doctors to help with gender transition against their religious convictions. Along with Texas and Kentucky, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Kansas have joined in the lawsuit. This comes days after a federal judge blocked a directive that would have required public schools to let transgender students use the bathroom of their choice. Kentucky is part of a lawsuit against that directive as well. Well, the wait is over. A new episode of James Corden's Carpool Karaoke will be airing tomorrow night.
You know, everybody loves that segment. It is so funny. And who is his guest tonight? Let's take a look.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling? A guy like you should wear a warning.
It's the one and only Britney Spears. She's going to join Corden tomorrow night on The Late Late Show. She now has 2 kids and a new show in Las Vegas, something Corden questions her about.
Have they seen your show? Have you seen your Vegas show?
Yeah.
I saw my mum in her underwear once when I was like 11.
You're so dirty!
I'm not, I'm saying, I'm not dirty. I can't.
He is a nut. You can see the Late Late Show with James Corden weeknights right here on WKYT, where clothes are kept on most of the time.
Right.
Good morning.
He might be saying, stop the beatings, though, man.
I know, she just slapping him around.
There. All right. Well, we had fun down at the
Yes.
Woodland Art Fair. We had a
cardboard cutout.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of people had some pretty good pictures out of that.
People were getting into it. Yeah, it was cute.
Micah sort of stuck his head out like a deer or something. You know.
He's over there like,
He always gets picked on. He loves it. All right, it is 6:41 on WKYT this morning.
Let's check to see how traffic is moving today.
Here's Officer Don with a check of live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, collision free, no major issues on the north side. Just double check Newtown Pike and North Broadway. Everything looks okay there. Inner and outer loops of the circle were good to go as we get a look at Lexington rush hour traffic and drive times. From Nicholasville, still 12 minutes. Get there while you can. Coming in from Georgetown, about 16 minutes. And from Winchester, it's about 20. Of course, we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Be careful in the construction zone and watch for the buses this morning. Now back to you in the studio.
One thing you can tell, it is a beautiful morning out there. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. It's good to have you along on WKYT on your Wednesday morning, hump day, and we're just getting started. More news on the way.
All right, we appreciate you being with us. This couple is a perfect match in more ways than one. More on the Louisville husband who donated a kidney to his wife just ahead on WKYT this morning.
Things look fantastic this morning. Really, really nice sunrise outside right now. Temperatures are there in the 60s. Some storms return, but it's not a good chance. I'll show you that and that heat in the forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We got the crew just now walking back in from outside. Absolutely loving this shot. We pulled this up during commercial break. How cool is that shot? Check that out. I mean, that's one of the better sunrises we've seen in a while, even though we've had some pretty good sunrises out and about. But boy, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous start to the day. So when Bill and Andrea saw that, they took off. They ran outside to take a picture with it. And yeah, really nice shot early this morning. Don't forget, hop on Facebook, hop on Twitter, Micah Harris WX. Snap a picture, send it to me. I'd love to show it off for you. 66 degrees right now in Lexington. Huge dome of higher pressure off toward the East Coast. Listen, that dome of higher pressure, it's not making a big difference for us, but it could make a huge change for this storm system that's going to be rolling across possibly the Gulf of Mexico, because it's going to steer it right into the Gulf of Mexico. That's something to watch into next week. You've heard about it. Yeah, the possibility of a hurricane either into the Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico next week. Something to watch out for and see how it affects us, brings us a lot of moisture next week. But for the most part, the moisture streaming on in, humid air, steamy, and most stay dry. That's the key, though. So it's going to be pretty humid. There's no doubt about that. And but most do stay dry, and we'll start to see a pop-up shower thunderstorm by the afternoon today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, obviously, it's all about the heat. You can see by Thursday afternoon, there's nothing going on. It's 5 p.m. and a small chance at a pop-up shower thunderstorm, but temperatures in the upper 80s to roughly 90 degrees. Now, adding that moisture, it's going to feel like 95 degrees. Same story for Friday night football. Most stay dry, but just can't rule out a pop-up shower thunderstorm. I was talking about Twitter there. Just tweeted at me, and here's one good picture. Dr. D. Ghana. That's from at Dr. D. Ghana, that is. Faux fall evening in Lexington. That was yesterday evening. I'll start to get some pictures and show them off throughout the morning here on the news at 10 a.m. and also noon from you guys that are going to send them in to me. And it says, hashtag can we have more please? I would love to. Unfortunately, that is going to change. The pattern's going to shift toward a steamy and humid pattern. It's just not going to feel that good the next several days. But look at your rain chances. I want you to look at the percentages. Now, people ask me all the time, what do percentages actually mean? They actually mean 20% of the viewing area will see rain. So what does that mean? Well, that means the other 80% will not see rain, okay? So just because you see an icon there on the screen that has a rain chance in there does not mean you're going to see rain. Just because you have a percentage does not mean you're going to see rain. Just to jot it down for you. We'll be roughly 90 degrees all the way through the weekend and into early next week, guys. and it's going to be pretty sticky out there. We've been spoiled the past 3 or 4 days. It's been extremely nice, but this is what happens this time of year. Late August, early September, you get these shots of cooler air, dry air, and then here comes the summer pattern.
Right.
We still got time. It's roughly a month until we actually hit fall.
Yeah. We did just step out. We took the little selfie out there.
If you haven't been outside, just take a step outside. It
been
is
playing
gorgeous.
this music, you know.
Yeah, absolutely this morning. Hey,
Beautiful
gotta get
day.
going,
Fitting
man.
today.
Gotta get going.
So fitting today.
There you go.
All right, 6:48 our time on WKYT this morning.
Yeah, and we have a great story coming up. A Louisville couple recently found out they are a perfect match in a few ways.
Really, Carrie Murphy was in need of a kidney and found out that her husband of 22 years was a perfect kidney donor for her. 2 years ago, Carrie was diagnosed with a rare and incurable condition that causes scarring in internal organs. She went through 16 rounds of chemo, a stem cell transplant, and 2 years of dialysis. But now, thanks to her husband, Matt, she has a new kidney. Doctors say they were shocked how close of a match that Matt and Carrie were.
I said God intersected our lives 25 years ago at Taco Bell, that we first met, and knowing that one day she would need a kidney and that I would be the guy that would be able to give it to her.
Odds are good that Carrie's disease will come back one day, but the Murphys say that they are just living every day to the fullest right now, and they're very grateful for the gift that they found in each other.
That's a great example of just unconditional love right there.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully, you know, some advancements will come along that will help her along the way. Time this morning is 6:49 on WKYT This Morning.
We've got much more news coming up when we return. Stay with us.
Coming up, we're in Italy where rescuers continue to search for survivors of a strong and deadly earthquake. Plus, how many Clinton Foundation donors met with Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Welcome back in. It is 6:52 here on your Wednesday morning. There's been a tragic story, a national story. We've been watching breaking news out of Italy this morning. Dozens dead after an earthquake that has caused extensive damage.
That's just one of the stories making headlines this morning. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us with a look at what is trending online. Michelle?
A 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit overnight in central Italy, collapsing homes on top of residents as they slept. At last check, Italy's Civil Protection Agency says at least 37 people are dead from the powerful quake. One of the hardest hit towns, that's about 100 miles north of Rome, is almost completely destroyed. Another news, a man has been taken to the hospital after an overnight crash in Scott County. Officers say the truck was headed north on Long Lick Pike about midnight when the driver looked down at his phone and veered off the road into a creek. He was taken to UK hospital with a broken leg. And finally, what's trending on WKYT.com today, University of Kentucky students begin the new school year. That's always a fun time, right, Bill?
You got it. All right, it's going to be fun, and we'll be following along throughout the school year. And CBS This Morning will have the very latest from that earthquake zone in central Italy. It's coming up in just a few minutes at 7. Hillary Clinton's campaign is pushing back against a new Associated Press report that casts a shadow over her time at the State Department. That report was published yesterday, and it claims more than half of the people outside of government that Clinton met during her tenure donated money to her family's fundraising foundation. Donald Trump is seized on the news as evidence of the Democratic nominee's so-called pay-to-play politics.
After months of saying that he would deport the 11 million people living in the U.S. illegally, Donald Trump is now suggesting that he's open to softening his position. That's what he said in a town hall taping in Austin, Texas with Fox News. The Republican nominee says he is not looking to hurt people and that he, quote, wants to bring some great people into the country. Trump is expected to unveil his full immigration plan next week. The South Korean military says North Korea has test-fired a submarine-based ballistic missile off its east coast. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff made the announcement after the launch early this morning. It's not clear if the launch was successful or not. The launch comes days after South Korean and U.S. troops began their annual summer drills that North Korea calls an invasion rehearsal.
Well, the Olympic flag has arrived in Tokyo, host of the next Summer Games. Tokyo's governor held the flag as she got off of a plane and stepped onto the tarmac. The governor received the flag at Sunday's closing ceremonies of the Rio Games from Rio's mayor and the president of the International Olympic Committee. So everybody's ready to go already for the next Olympics, especially here in the USA. We did so well in those games, right? As we just heard from Michelle a little bit ago, the University of Kentucky students do begin their brand new school year today.
Lots of nervous energy there this morning, and new returning students have been moving back to campus over the last 2 weeks, but today all students begin classes for the fall semester. Now the fun begins, right? And to kick off the new year, a Welcome Back Festival will be held tonight. All students are invited to enjoy free food from Raisin Cane's, Crank and Boom Ice Cream, and Insomnia Cookies. The event is from 5 to 7 behind the King Alumni House and Stuckert Career Center at the corner of Rose and Euclid. That's quite a spread.
Right. They do it right. Get ready for that year.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, that story we had a few minutes ago about the teachers giving no homework in Texas
Probably doesn't apply to college.
Probably won't work at UK.
Yeah.
Not for the year. Okay, let's check in with Micah right now and let you know that whether you're going to school or work or what have you today, you'll be dealing with a little more humidity, but a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. That's the truth. And you're looking outside. I wanted to show you cams from all locations. Been getting pictures on Twitter. Micah Harris, WX from James Starr, Jackie Miller there in Harrodsburg. You got Heidi Hensley there in Knox County. I mean, all over the region. Amanda Boone sent one in. Beautiful shots. Really, it doesn't matter where you are. You have a really nice sky early this morning. Travel in towards your afternoon at 87 degrees. And it's a little warm this afternoon. And let me tell you this, the humidity's on the rise too, so the summer pattern's back with us. Slight chance of rain today, guys. That's pretty much going to be the case now throughout your weekend. Small chances of rain, but it's more about the heat and humidity. That's what most people will be talking about.
All right,
concentrate
thank you so much,
on that
Micah.
sunshine, right?
On the good stuff, that's right.
Nobody's more up to date than you. Thank you for being on WKYT.
Have a wonderful Wednesday.